wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mine. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real, real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarms setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mine. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. That's right. Go get 'em, boys!
And welcome everybody to PEMA TV.
Welcome to Friday the 23rd. 2013.
Hope everybody had a safe week. We had an absolute blast, and we can't say thank you enough to everybody involved with Kelly Little Green Men last week. Just an awesome time. Once again, the Battle of the Bands. Check our YouTube channel. I'm starting to get all the stuff posted, and you can be a judge just like they did up there.
I was a judge up there, not on the bands up.
Yeah, the kids contest. I've also got all that coming. I've got the adults too.
That's right.
Kids and adults. So everybody that was made up, you got to.
I was the costume judge. Yes.
We've got some of their special events. I have Geraldine's speech that explains what the Kelly Little Green Men is really all about and how it started and the incident that it goes back to.
August 21st, 1955.
It's a great story, but all that's coming up on our YouTube channel.
Kelly, Kentucky.
And just like I said, keep an eye on our YouTube channel. If you can see down below us, there's a YouTube button. Take you right there. Subscribe to the channel, and you'll know every time I upload them. But it's coming, and there's some really good music in there. There's some guys in there, Clockwork Mechanics. You need to watch those guys. They're pretty tight. I enjoy their music a lot. But we also need to let everybody know about Metaluna Boutique and Stones.
Yeah, even our guests don't know about that one.
Yep. Kim is now operating her own shop there in Gladewater, Texas. We are also online at MetalunaBoutiqueandStones.com, all one word.
There is clothing, metaphysical, paranormal, books,
candles,
stones, herbs. There's a lot of
handmade jewelry,
handcrafted stuff. There's hand-poured candles, handmade dolls, handcrafted jewelry. What am I missing? Handmade soaps, lotions, bath salts.
Check it out online. Give us a shout. If the good Lord has blessed you with a little bit of money, order something from us. But tonight...
Yes, because that way I'll be blessed with food.
Yep. She has to keep me in Yeti chow. But tonight we are joined by a good friend that we unfortunately have not talked to in probably a little over a year.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a year and a half.
Yeah. So it's been about a year since we talked to him online.
And I'm whining.
I know you are getting kind of nasally over there. But tonight we are talking to Mr. Chriss Maggard. How are you, sir?
Hey, brother, I'm doing good. Hey, Kim.
Hey.
Hey, you know what? I know you have the show on ROKU, and I know you've got the TSP, correct?
Correct.
But a lot of people probably don't know this about you. But what motivated you to get started way back in the day?
Actually, it was when the attacks on my sister happened out in Fountain Valley, California. Yeah, I was a young boy, and this at the time we didn't know what it was, but this entity started attacking my sister and playing havoc on the family and the house, and it got pretty brutal. And that kind of sparked my interest to find out why stuff like this happens, and it's been ongoing ever since.
So the show, what did you think when the shows first popped out?
You mean like the paranormal shows, like Ghost Hunters and stuff like that?
Yeah, the ones that are now considered quote unquote para entertainment. More emphasis on the entertainment than the para. There's something with taint in there anyway. But I mean, yeah, before when those guys came out, did it give you some validation? Did it make you feel like what you were doing had some merit? Because look at what these guys are doing.
When Ghost Hunters came out, I was like, damn it, they beat me to the punch, bastards.
Right.
I just thought, well, this is awesome. It's starting to be a little bit more accepted in the world. It's not as hidden on in the backyard or whatever, on the back plate, and people are kind of like, well, it's still a little taboo to talk about. I mean, there was conventions all through the 80s and stuff like that, paranormal conventions, but they weren't as big. They were more educational back then, as opposed to what they are now. Now I think it's just more entertainment and who's who and what's what, and hang out with this and hang out with that, and let's get drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
There's para drinking?
Yeah, there's a lot of para other things that go on at conventions too. Did you ever have you ever, and I want to ask this because this is where you can kind of separate the good from the bad, the chaff from the wheat, however you want to do it. Have you ever run across a demonic spirit in any of your investigations?
No.
Thank you.
What do you mean no? You mean not everybody runs across us?
I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, and neither have we.
I've had people say they're being attacked by demons, and when we get there, the only demons is the crack pipe we're smoking out of.
Yeah. Well,
that's a true story.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. That is truly becoming an issue in the let's quote unquote paranormal field today. People that are actually trying to do residentials and help the people, God bless them. Hopefully they have enough experience to do that.
It's funny you say that, brother, because actually I'm writing a book right now, and one of the pages I'm actually writing on right now, the paragraphs, is actually about that. People going into these homes, and God bless everybody want to try to help people, but I think a lot of people are doing it for the wrong reason. They don't, and I'm not trying to put down anybody, because I'm not the smartest man in the world, but, and I know there's probably people in the chat room going, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Yep, that's me. I'm good to go. I know it. But the thing is, it's you're going into someone's home. First off, you don't know if you're going to get jumped, you're going to get jacked. You don't know what's going to happen when you go in these homes, and hopefully you're going into a home that's legit and someone's terrified.
Right.
But then again, you're going in there and you're not fully educated on a house, like how it makes noises, from temperature changes from day to night. Yeah, how the ground shifts. If there's any seismic energy going on in that area, which will make the house tremor and make things move, but to someone that's uneducated about that would think it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Especially in the summertime, you got a nice, for example, you have a glass dinner table. Okay, it's summertime. You have a glass of ice water. You set that on there and it sweats. And let's say there's a small earthquake, maybe 3.2. You don't feel it, but it's enough to send a vibration through the house. And that glass that's sweat on that glass table, it's going to move because of condensation. It's going to move. And that's from the vibration from the planet. And so people are going in there and thinking, oh my God, that did move. We got a ghost. And so you're making the people even more scared to where they want to move out of their house. And then you're causing these people who are just trying to find answers more money to move, sell their house, move their furniture, rent trucks, find a new place. And all it was something natural that happened. But an uneducated paranormal investigator is making them move for something that was actually natural. And I think that's a lot of problems that's going on, and especially when people take pictures of orbs and they say it's a spirit. My God, people read Circle of Confusion. They'll teach you about the focus on a camera.
Yeah.
Or they go in and there actually is activity going on, and they stir it up to some crazy point, and then they leave and then don't make any more contact with the people.
Right.
Okay, well, we investigated. We're done.
Right, exactly. I mean, that causes problems too. I just say, you know what, man, I've learned from trial and error through the years. You gotta go in there and you gotta learn things first. And that's what we're working on right now with different theories of relativity. We study seismic energy, geomagnetics, solar flaring, all this stuff which affects our planet. Do you know that our planet makes such a high frequency sounds and it fluctuates from the magma moving and the crust moving and the different quartz shifting in our planet, that it makes different tones that we can't hear with our own ears, but you can pick it up with a low enough frequency voice recorder that it'll actually be misinterpreted as EVPs, but it's actually our planet making noises.
I would believe that. And that doesn't, a couple of things that you didn't even touch on that a lot of people don't even know they have in their home. One, if their home was pre-1980, you're more than likely going to have at least one plug that the electrician got lazy on and isn't grounded properly.
Yep.
You can have huge EMF spikes from that, and
Yep.
black mold.
If
you have a basement, you have to check every nook and cranny down there to make sure that's not there, because those spores will cause hallucination. They will cause serious health problems.
Absolutely. And here's another thing, and you know how the theory's been going on for years now since the TV shows that EMFs can make you sick?
Mm-hmm.
It's pure false. And I say that strongly because I have studied it, and people, you can read this up on EMF sickness and read it. In order for us to be sick, because the human body emits its own EMF fields, the planet has its own EMF fields.
Mm-hmm.
In order for us to be affected by any amount of EMF sickness, to get anything like that, the EMF field has to be greater than what the planet produces to protect us from the outer rays from the sun. It has to be greater than that. And I have a buddy of mine who's been an electrician. He works for an electric company. He's been doing it for 30 years, and he builds these electric towers where there's high EMS, and he's been around it for 30 years, and not once has ever been sick from it. No hallucinations. So the whole theory about EMF sickness is false.
So you're saying that the whole fear cage thing doesn't exist either?
Nope. And I was shocked when I read all on this. It's now, yeah, you can go into a room and it's surrounded by heavy electronics. You're going to feel that the pressure from that electronics and from the wiring. You're going to feel that. I mean, that's in that room, but it's not going to make you sick. It's not going to make you hallucinate. The whole EMF field is the theory on that. You can shoot it out the window because it's actually proven that we as a human being produce our own EMF fields, And for us to be affected by any other type of EMF field, it has to be greater than what the planet produces, and it produces high EMF fields.
I never knew that.
Well, I'd like to go back just for a second, Chris, to the ground shifting, the earth noises being construed construed. Thank you. I told you I was tired. As EVPs.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, if you hear, it's not an EVP to begin with.
Unless you're on one particular show,
Right.
And then it'll be played 3 times.
Like the stomach noise. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I think what she's talking about is just the ambient. What you're talking about, the environmental noises.
Environmental noise, yeah.
Right. What I'm saying is, there's one particular show is that.
What I'm saying though is, unless you can clearly hear, Joe's going for a taco, it's throw it out the door.
If I heard an EVP says Joe's going for a taco, I'd be like, get me 2.
Right?
Well, and you could probably hear that at South Pittsburgh.
Right?
If there's any place in the world you'd hear that.
Hands down. As much as I hate the word paranormal, and we're learning so much more based on science, and what we're dealing with is actually a lot of it can be explained as natural. Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, hands down, is the most haunted location, active, and I don't like using the word haunted, but active location for supernatural studies, because I have never been blown away with the activity that I've seen like I do at Old South Pittsburgh. Unbelievable. Yeah. And why is it? I don't know.
Well, even when we were all there on New Year's Eve, you were doing the laser grid thing, and we were getting little black wormy things going through the lights.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was weird.
Yeah, bizarre. I mean, that place is just amazing.
But that particular incident, when you had everybody go upstairs, so you had everybody either sitting, laying down in the hallway, or peeking their heads out from the corridors on that entire floor length.
Except for Alex, who had a chair because she was pregnant.
And me, because I was at the very far end of the hall, sitting on the floor looking all the way straight back up the hall. If you remember when I called you over and had you come sit down there with me, the stuff, the pareidolia that you were seeing happening, oh man, that was amazing. But the thing about it is, some of that was so far away you couldn't tell without reviewing video, exactly if it was somebody's shadow or if it was but just the whole fact that you could experience that.
Right, exactly, man.
Yeah, it was cool, and I want to thank you for that.
That was awesome.
That was a weekend I got the big goose egg on the back of my head too, wasn't it?
Yep, because of the smoke experiment in the hallway.
I still remember that. That concrete's solid. It's solid Tennessee concrete, I guarantee you.
That was New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Let's talk about your show for a minute. The Search for Existence Unknown.
We found him. He's right here.
Yeah. You guys have been going on this going on 3 years, right?
No, 2 years, man. This is 2 years now. Yeah.
Okay.
We actually signed up 3 years ago, but we didn't officially launch our first season until 2 years ago.
Right. And if people don't know, you can be found on ROKU, correct?
Correct. There's actually now a free channel on there, Paranormal Reality TV free channel, where you can see some of the shows for free, but those were with a bunch of commercials, and It's not in HD. And if you want to see it in HD, subscribe to the channel, commercial free. Right.
And people can get Roku at Walmart and a whole bunch of other places, correct?
Walmart, Target. I mean, yeah, it's actually, it's just not for, and I would love people to get it and just for our show, but I mean, there's so many other things you can get on there too. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's the first introduction into true internet TV.
Well, it's one of them. I mean, Apple TV was also one.
Yeah.
But we're looking to be integrated into TVs here pretty soon, where when you buy a flat screen, it's already in the flat screen. You just order it up
and plug it into the internet. That's awesome. What is now we kind of already know, but for our viewers, what has been you guys' driving force behind the show? What's the message you're trying to get out with the show?
Basically, more of the truth. Trying to teach people the difference between certain voice recorders at certain hertz levels. That they're like, you got the VM 4100, which is a white noise voice recorder, and it records at like 150, 175 hertz. That's as low as it goes. And opposed to our Tascam DR5, which records all the way down to 20 hertz, which is just almost on the border of infrasound. Mm-hmm. So we try to just, how you can take these two voice recorders, put them together, and record something, and the VM4100, since it's a white noise voice recorder, will pick up something, and it will sound like it's saying, help me, but the Tascam sitting right next to it will pick up the same sound, but it's more clarified. It's not white noise, and actually it's just a floor creaking.
Right.
So white noise can be very, can mislead people a lot. So we're trying to break down, and we've been going to locations that's saying, okay, this place is haunted, or this place has got extreme activity, and we're trying to bring what's real and what's not real, and with explanation.
True. And do you guys, I'm going to ask this simply because I don't have Roku and I haven't been able to see, other than a couple of shows that you shared with us privately, I haven't been able to see very many. Do you guys, you guys don't use a lot of ITC either, do you?
ITC,
like the Ghost Box, Ovilus, Puck.
No, it's kind of funny though. I love my brother Pat, man. He loves that Ghost Box, and he likes to use it. And I'm like, well, dude, go for it, bro. You use it. I'm gonna go ahead and step over here. But then he'll come to me and goes, all right, Chris, here, check this out. We have a sentence over a period of so many channels being scanned within so many seconds. And we get a sentence, and then I'm scratching my head going, damn it. Damn it, dude, why you gotta show that to me? That's pretty crazy. But I don't like, it's noisy. But no, we don't have them. We had a PX device, we got rid of it. We had a couple of them, and we got rid of them. We even got rid of our K2 meters. We don't have those no more because those just pick up everything under the sun. From cell phones or walkie-talkies, blah, blah, blah. And so we just try to eliminate everything that could be possibly affected by natural environment.
Well, you do know because of their shape, the K2 makes a great doorstop.
It does. I agree.
I'm serious. And you guys that are on the show, you guys also have had this little group there in Kentucky for just about a decade, right? Because TSP's been around for early 2000s, correct?
Well, no, actually 2009, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, it officially started in 2009. I started trying to form a team early 2000 when I moved out here in 2004, but I didn't officially make TSP official until 2009.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I was starting early out here. I started back in California, but when I came out here and I started seeing all this history of this area, I was just like blown away. I'm like, man, I need to get some people together. And I kept going through different people, and it went up and down, and it was just like, man. And then finally I found the guys I'm with now, and it's just been rock solid ever since.
Yeah, because that's one thing I was going to say. When we did originally meet you at Old South that first time, your group they were pretty tight knit. You didn't take a whole lot of. If you wanted to go do something, it was like, well, we're going to go do this, and A, B, and C knew what to do. You know what I mean? That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it is now. I mean, yeah, we've lost a couple people since then, but we've gained one amazing person since then. So the two that are lost, well, actually one really was lost, and I'm good with that. Another one, he had to take a hiatus. That was Derek. You met Derek.
Right.
He had to take a break for a while, and he's still working with us, but he's doing more field research and location research for us now behind the scenes. But we added Rick White, which is, he earned his nickname Mad Dog, and he's just amazing. He's like the father of the group. He's a man of very few words with his big cigar. You know, he kind of reminds us of Hannibal from the A-Team.
Nice. Well, I was just going to ask, do you mean Mad Dog like big burly pit bull, or do you mean Mad Dog like the stuff that we all drank when we just got out of high school?
No, not like that. Just like the big burly dog.
No,
you
I
know?
got you.
But he just sits there and quiet and just gives you that look with a big cigar protruding out of his mouth, and he's like, "Yeah." That's all it takes. A little, and we're good.
Well, that is something very important that people need to realize is your group dynamic can make the difference between whether you have a productive trip when you go out or whether you don't. Now, there's always going to be times that you don't collect any data, but if you're with a group where everybody's infighting and it's why don't we have a black Suburban yet, and we need to do this and this, and when you have a group that's it's eating itself from the inside, it totally ruins some investigations. Just the energy you're going in there with.
Right. Well, you know, us four is Jake, Pat, Rick, and myself. We're actually, if you guys could see some of the video from us on the road, you'd probably think, oh my God, I don't know if I want these people coming around or not, because we're just like basket case. We're clowns, we're goofy, and we have a good time, man. And it's a blast, dude. The chemistry between us four is amazing. It's just amazing, you know. And Derek still helps us out in the back scenes, you know. And he, like I said, he keeps an eye out on locations for us and tries to find stuff for us. And you know, he does what he does. He's a good guy, and he's our computer tech now. He takes care of all of our computers.
Well, just for the record, we've met you, we've hung out with you. We'd still put up with you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, and we love you for that. And I love you for it. Myself, and I got multi-personalities.
Yeah, because you haven't introduced us to your wife.
Well, technically he's introduced us. We haven't met her in person yet.
That's
right.
What introducing is.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah, she's, we're actually making a return trip to Old South Pittsburgh. Just the group, and something very personal for my wife. When I met you guys, I didn't know Elena then. And we've been there since the last time I was with you guys. We've been there a couple times, and we was talking about going back for a third time after I met my wife. And when she heard that I was talking about Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, she stopped dead in her tracks. And she was listening to me and Pat talk. And we was talking about the tall figure man that everybody claims to see. Now, then she chimes in and says, well, you know what? My grandfather died there. And he was a very tall man. And she showed me a picture of him, and he kind of matches what people are witnessing at Old South Pittsburgh. So she wants to go have some closure there to see if it's him.
There you go.
I finally got to see him.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was like my 5th or 6th time out there, and it wasn't even really my investigation. Cindy had asked me to come out and help with a teen night, and we had all the teens lined up on the 3rd floor between the nursery and the psych room.
Okay, yeah.
And we were playing Michael Esposito's CD he made. And at the end of it, we waited about 10 minutes, and Cricket and I were down by OR watching down the hallway, making sure everybody was where they were supposed to be, and we both saw it. None of the teenagers saw it. And they were down there.
Wow.
So we tore off. We swore it was Doug messing around. Cricket goes through one corridor. I'm cutting through the doctor's offices and everything else trying to catch him, and he wasn't up there.
Wow.
And you know how creepy those 2 OR rooms are that are on the end of both of those halls
They
on the
are
3rd
creepy.
floor.
They are creepy, man. I'll give you that. They are totally creepy.
Me, Tommy Golden, Tim Rankhorn, his girlfriend at the time, Angie. We were all in the OR that's right there by the nursery.
Yeah.
OR 3 or whatever it is, the end of that main long hallway.
Yeah.
And Tommy and I both, and we both kind of came to the conclusion that it was Dr. Havocan. But there was a full-bodied apparition that came out of the wall in between us.
Wow, dude, that is wild.
And Tim, what's even wilder is Tim was filming. Tommy was at arms, obviously Tommy was just standing there. Tommy's standing there. I'm on the other side of the corner, like where the window would be.
Yeah.
Tommy's looks at me. I'm looking at it, looking at Tommy. And about that time, we both look over at Tim, and Tim is recording with a full spectrum video recorder.
Yeah.
And his illuminator just starts blinking, flashing, and then goes out. Fully charged battery.
But when you play it back, it looks like a white hand is literally slapping at the lens.
It actually looks like there's like somebody's trying to claw at the illuminator is what it looks like.
No way, really?
Yep.
If I can find it here on my computer when we get off air, I'll send it to you and let you see
Dude,
that
that's
video.
Awesome.
That's the same weekend we got the picture of the baby sitting on my lap that wasn't there.
That's true too. Kim was sitting down at the nurse's station.
Well, you know what? If you guys want to see one of our part one of our episode, because we did an Old South Pittsburgh episode for The Search, and we did it in 2 parts. You can actually see part 1 on our YouTube page. We was allowed to put that episode up.
Okay.
We go to tspnorthernkentucky.com, the YouTube page, and it's on there. People can watch that, and that's actually where I got slapped upstairs. Out of nowhere, it was like, what the hell?
Nellie got enough of your lip, did she?
Somebody. Well, it was not even by Nellie's office. It was actually when you first come upstairs and you pass that hallway to go to the OR.
Right.
And there's a nurse's station, and if you go left, you go to the nursery. If you go right, it's all the way down to Nellie's.
Right.
Well, as we just starting to turn right, and there's that little door, those 2 doors. It was right there by the nurse's station. It was like a loud. It's like, what? Right in my face.
What were you thinking, Chris?
Well, the bad part is that used to be the labor rooms.
Yeah.
What were you doing in there, Chris?
Maybe they thought you needed to start breathing.
Oh, maybe. Well, actually, we were just walk through because we just got there from a long drive. We just kind of scoping the area out, and Jake was right next to me. He's seen like the impact on my face, and he describes it what it looked like. It's the greatest thing how he describes it. I love it. He said my face looked all distorted when it got smacked. So he witnessed it. Pat was behind me and Rick was behind me. So it was pretty wild. And you know how Doug and Cindy have high dynamic mics throughout the building.
Yep.
Right.
They heard it. They're like, what was that? And so, yeah, it was pretty wild, man. And it was just like, God, we got to get back there bad.
Yeah, we need to get down there pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely. I love that place. So it's, and for people that haven't been there, it's in the room. I'm telling you, it's well worth the trip. I would definitely pay. You know, some of these locations are charging $1,000 for nothing, no activity, and you walk around an empty old building. I've mentioned to Cindy because they've been in the part where they're almost losing the place because the money's not coming in enough. People, they're not charging a lot to get people to come in there and stay overnight. They're trying to be fair to people's wallets because it's not easy to just throw $100 or $1,000 here and there to investigate. So they've been charging really cheap. And I told Cindy, I said, man, charge people $500 a night. That's well worth it. I would pay it just to keep the doors open. You know what I mean? Because their taxes and property taxes is outrageous.
Yeah.
What? Chris is going to pay $1,000 for all of us to go play? Let's go, Chris.
Let's do it.
What? Hold on. Wait, we're communication.
I have witnesses.
And believe it or not, we do actually have one person in the chat room, and you might know her. Her name is Reverend Robin Marie.
Oh, Robin.
And when you were mentioning about paying a lot for investigations, she types in there, cough, cough, Lizzie Borden, cough, cough.
Hasn't been there. Probably won't be.
And she typed in there, he knows I love him.
She's awesome. I love her. She kicks ass.
Yes, she does.
I know. We got to play with her in May up in the Shanley.
Oh yeah, the Shanley. I love that place. But you know what? I mean, like Lizzie Borden. I would love to go to Lizzie Borden just for the pure fact, just to dismiss the whole theory about that place.
I want to go to Lizzie Borden because it's like one of the first spooky movies I got to see when I was little with my grandma.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a whole. Let me ask you this, because you have been involved in this for, like you said, since you were very, very young. What's on your wish list? What's the one place in the entire world that you want to go?
Egypt.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Very spiritual. The Egyptians were extremely spiritual. And I find it so fascinating. And you know what, Josh Gates, damn him, he's like got like the first paranormal crew, or not paranormal crew because he doesn't have a paranormal team, but when he had Destination Truth, they got to go in Tutankhamun's tomb.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, you son of a lucky bastard.
But if you remember, all of them almost didn't make it there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true.
Because one of them darn near got killed on that wall.
And unfortunately, right now, you'd have to have a really good squad of people with some AK-47s and whatnot.
Yeah, because Americans are white Americans are not very welcomed over there. And then so I guess since that place is not really available at the moment for me, I think my next would be my home country, where my ancestors are from, in Scotland, and some of the old relics out there definitely is on my bucket list.
Well, I've wanted to go to the catacombs in Belfast. I mean, because there's just so much there. But we have a very good friend of Kim and I both, Mary Cunningham. She actually runs Scottish Paranormal, which was one of the first paranormal groups in Scotland. And
really?
She told us if we can ever get over there, she'll cook our noodles. She'll take us some places that'll blow us away. But she's talking about some of the, 1,500, 2,000-year-old castles that are over there that are, just amazing things go on in,
Yeah, definitely. And, here's another place I would think would be awesome to check out. And I don't know how you would do it, but if you remember correctly, if anybody remembers the history, I would love to go to Greece, for one. But the China Wall, the Great Wall of China.
Oh, yeah.
Because the emperors that were in charge of having that constructed, you died where you was building. They were very mean to the slaves.
Oh, yeah.
And they forced them to work. They basically worked them to death. And if you died right there, throw a brick on top of them, build the wall on top of him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of places. I wouldn't actually mind going to some of the, visiting some of the temples that you would be allowed to visit in Tibet. But that's like vacationing, extreme vacationing, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if I'll ever make it there, but I'd love to go there because, once again, for the same reason you mentioned with Egypt, it's just so spiritual over there. It's a totally different mindset than what we have here, in the States.
Oh, it is. I mean, the States. I mean, you think about it. We all come from Europe. All of our ancestors came from Europe, so it all started over there, and it just came this way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the old country, and yeah, definitely. Since my bucket list, number 1 is Egypt, number 2 is Scotland.
How long are you guys going to keep doing In Search?
The search, well, we're hoping to keep going for a while. It's just, you don't make a lot of money. We got normal jobs just like everybody else. We're not signed by a major label. So, you got to do what you got to do. And, even if we was to be signed by a major label, I don't know if we'd be able to do it because most of them want them to do it their way. And we have full creative control And sometimes our episodes can be a little boring because it's telling the truth.
Yeah. And that is actually what should have been put out there from the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it from the entertainment side, you got to have ratings. But, we do come across some exciting stuff. I mean, we have, and it's pretty bizarre. One of our latest episodes was a Crown Point Jail up in Indiana. Amazing location. This is a location where John Dillinger was actually taken to and he escaped from.
Really?
Yeah. Awesome place. Another pretty wild. I mean, what we captured on video and the sounds we captured, someone screaming, "Help me," loud enough to where it's very, just like how I'm saying it, "Help me," that clear. We didn't hear it, but our cameras and our voice recorders captured it. So that was pretty bizarre.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's the kind of stuff that also keeps the fire burning too, though.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. And that's why our show, The Search Existence Unknown, we want to keep going and keep showing people these places. There's a couple places we want to try to get into soon. Don't know if it's going to happen before they're torn down. But that's keeping us going. Trying to find that certain place, that certain thing that's going to break it for us, and we could share it with everybody else.
Yeah, and that's in this economy. That's one of the things that I find that's going to be our biggest regret in 10 years is there are a lot of historic buildings because of either the owners are not financially able anymore,
or they don't care,
or the funding's been cut back for historic preservation or whatever. We're losing a lot of historic locations.
Well, what I'm saying is that place in Shreveport, across from the Lane Street Mansion,
Mm-hmm.
the owners, the city offered to go in and rebuild that beautiful 4 or 5 story mansion. The owner won't let anybody in. They're letting it cave in on itself.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's sad. And that's another thing, man. We love going to these locations. We love finding, new things. And that's the whole idea behind the show is, looking for the unknown and sharing it with people and sharing the history. We keep it real.
So I have to ask you, Chris, did you ever make it to Morgan's Landing or Morgan's Crossing?
No, I never did. Never did. Would love to. Would have loved to.
I had it for you, man.
Yeah, I know. Never got there.
And the antique store had to close down.
Did it really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yep.
Well, that's just like one of the places we investigated and actually made an episode out of. Shimmers out here in Kentucky. Extremely a lot of history and pretty active, and they had to close down. Just the money wasn't there for the place. And it sucks. Some cool places.
Yep.
And I know you guys are doing the search, but TSP will also, if somebody called you in an emergency situation, you guys are pretty much always at the ready to go help too, correct?
Oh yeah. We actually just had a case just recently, a private case, and yeah, we're on it. Bam. Just because we have a show, well, it doesn't mean we can't help people out too, or just trying to figure out what's going on for these people.
Yeah. Well, and plus there is logistics involved. People don't seem to understand that when you see a group that will, at a drop of a hat or a dime, if you drop a dime now, 3 people are diving after it.
Yeah.
but there's a lot of respect that needs to be given for a team that'll do that if they have enough experience to do that, if they've done their pre-interviews, there's a whole lot of ifs that go with it. But anybody that's willing to go help somebody else and legitimately help them, kudos to them. That's what this life's all about, is trying to help each other.
And that doesn't include the guy in Houston who's going around with the SUV with the back of it saying "Rent a Ghost Hunter."
Oh yeah, for a nominal fee, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, $350.
Hey, come on, really?
Seriously.
I'm dead serious. He The phone number, we had it posted on Facebook going around there for a while, and everybody and their brother on the Facebooks were calling this guy to the point where he stopped answering his phone.
Yeah, but the whole point is people don't know any better, so they'll call him. I mean, one of the shows, because we've got like 14 live shows over here now. We're not the little small station. We're getting there.
It's awesome, man.
Well, thank you. But there's Sunday night not this last Sunday night, but the Sunday night before that. One of our shows was interviewing a lady that does, and I want to say it's called the Paranormal News. She lives in Oklahoma, or the Paranormal News Review or something. Anyway, they had been contacted by some people that had a group go in there that believed that if you blew glitter in the house, the shimmering confused the ghosts and they left. So if you left your house and let these people investigate in your house, it was going to look like there was a stripper massacre when you got back in there.
I was going to say, what is it, a strip club?
Well,
I actually, Tim Yancey actually asked how you got the glitter blessed, and I told him he had to go to a pole dancer.
Yeah. Get some holy glitter water.
So he was trying to get his wife to give him a bunch of ones so he could go get some glitter blessed.
You know what, man? I give it up to whoever came up with that for being creative. That's pretty creative.
But what's bad is, what if the people that they blew glitter all over the place? What if these people just didn't know any better?
What if these people really had a serious problem and it's still there and worse?
And glitter, because it'll take 12 years to get rid of that crap in your house.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. That's what I was saying earlier, is that, people are going in here unexperienced, and they're going into people who are legitimately scared or kind of confused about what's going on in their house. And you got unexperienced people going in there and saying, oh, you got a ghost because the glitter stuck to the wall or something. Or, we got an orb, or, this moved or that moved. And they didn't actually go study, maybe we had the heat temperature or whatever shifted the house or whatnot. Right. And so they're making the people, the owners of the home or the business, even more scared. And like I said before, it's probably something that's very natural. You're going in there with glitter and you're going to think, oh my God, we have a porn ghost.
Well, and depending on which porn actor it was, it could be,
not a good one.
Female, as long as it's a female.
Why's it got to be female?
Oh man, I trip out on so many things, and God, this community's gotten so huge. The paranormal field has become a multi-billion-dollar business.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but unfortunately, all the passerbys are starting to leave.
Yeah.
And leaving us with the bills.
Yeah.
Because it got so big so quick, a lot of the equipment and stuff, the price jacked up so high. So now anybody who's really serious is paying the outrageous prices instead of what we would have normally paid.
Right. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't care if it dies tomorrow or whatever, I'll still be doing the same thing until I get some answers. Hell, I might not ever get any answers. But, it's just those few things that we're stepping closer and closer with, the research. And Pat's been really digging into this, and he's going to be taking a college course in physics to help develop this even more. And so, I think we're going in the right direction with our new theories, and I hope it pans out. I really do. Yeah,
there's definitely a change in the air. You know what I mean? There's like Kim mentioned, there's a lot of the tourists, and and God bless them. If you want to go in a place and just freak yourself out and get spooked, rock on.
It's called haunted houses
around
Halloween.
But don't claim to be something that you're not. Don't claim to be some kind of supernatural metaphysical team or some kind of
glitter blowing.
Yeah, some kind of glitter blowing scientific team. Don't claim that, because you're not.
Yeah, I mean, because, but here's the thing. We try to go with our own senses anymore. And, we have a different variety of voice recorders that record, like I said, almost from infrasound to really high hertz levels. And we're working with a lot of that stuff, more on the audio aspect. And video, and we're trying to find a new dimension. Believe it or not, this might sound like it's coming out of out of a time warp or something, but we're looking for a new dimension that can't see. You know, you have the IR spectrum, UV spectrum, the regular spectrum that we see. There's another visual spectrum dimension that we're missing. And I actually came across it by accident once, and it was quick. I was doing editing. I was doing some editing, and I wanted to download some stock footage of an explosion in HD, and I did. And I was slowing it down just for the scene. And when I slowed it down, and you see the part where the explosion first hits, it rips our existence that we're in right now. It was like you guys can laugh. This is a trip, but it actually tears like the air, and there's something in between that void, and it closes right back up, and it's quick. It's like it rips our own existence real quick when an explosion happens. It's bizarre.
No,
it's the best thing I've ever seen.
I would believe that. I would believe that.
Well, you're from another dimension. That's how you got here.
I'm a trans-dimensional being.
You're a trans what?
I'm the Yeti. I'm the hide and seek world champ for like 3,000 years running.
Oh, dude, you're rock. Can I have your autograph, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that's so awesome.
Do not encourage bad behavior, Chris.
What's the next big thing you got coming up, Chris?
Man, well, we're going to be returning to Old South Pittsburgh. That's going to be pretty monumental, especially for my wife. We have a couple things we're working on right now, and man, I'm very I don't know, old school. If I talk about it, it won't happen. I really don't want to talk too much about what we're trying to figure out, but hopefully it'll be beneficial for all of us. And I am working on my book. I actually been working on it pretty heavy lately because of what I've been witnessing in the field and some of the things that I've been trying to explain. And if I get one person to buy it, I'm good with that.
I got 72 cents.
Sweet. I'm down. You got the first copy, 72 cents.
Yeah, baby.
I know I can get an ice cream for 50 cents down the street, and I'll have money left over, so I'm scored.
Hey,
yeah.
you can get them for 50 cents at McDonald's.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, baby.
I was about to say, that's a lot of running after the ice cream truck for...
No, the ice cream truck don't slow down for no 50 cents anymore.
Isn't that terrible? And I hate to go on a total weird, strange tangent here, but isn't that something kids nowadays are like totally losing? I mean, that used to be the greatest sound in the world, you know. And then you had to sprint home to get money, and then you had to go back and find him again, and that's like the greatest thing. I mean,
with a quarter
nowadays,
in your hand. Now they have to have a $5 bill, and they get no change.
I miss the Ice Cream Man. He was cool.
Yeah.
And they all had the same song.
Exactly.
Pop goes the weasel.
They all played the same song. And it was like, yeah. You could hear them coming from miles. You'd be like, ooh, Ice Cream Man coming.
Exactly.
Well, I still do it. I need $1. It's the Ice Cream Man.
And you know what I think they ought to do? You know, they have spring water. They have... natural water, they have, Evian, Perrier, all that garbage. They need water hose flavored water.
Yeah.
Because, and there's a whole generation of us that would buy it. Really? that would buy that as a flavor. You know
what, man? I tell you what, I was one of the dudes right there, one of the kids, and man, I was thirsty. I grabbed that water hose and I was pounding some water.
I totally
tasted like dirt and rust, but you know what? Didn't matter.
After that third or fourth gulp, you felt better, and you went back to do what you were doing, which was playing outside, by the way.
Yeah, we were outside playing cops and robbers instead of video games, cops and robbers.
Instead of moving our thumbs.
Yeah. It's
all the kids today are becoming hunchbacks. They got this big old hunch on their back from sitting and playing video games all day. And what were we doing when we were kids? Building tree forts, chasing each other, tackling each other in the yard or the field or whatever.
Yeah, but the really sad part is in 4 years, My granddaughter will be 9 and she'll be able to teach me computers.
Listen to this real quick. I got to tell you, this is the greatest thing. We put up a regular clock at my work, a regular hand clock. We had to teach a kid how to read it.
Isn't that sad? They're not even teaching them how to write cursive anymore.
Yeah, I think we call that digititis.
Digititis. Yeah.
When they can only read a digital clock or a numbered clock, they can't read the hands.
Yeah, it was just like, how do you read that? Oh my lord. It's okay, bro. We'll teach you.
Yeah, would you really want to confuse him? Go out and get him one of those $10 Kmart watches with the like 1 joule where noon is and nothing else.
Oh yeah. Guess what time it is?
Tell me what time it is. It's broken.
It doesn't work. It doesn't tell me.
Well, that's like the stupid Velcro shoes. You put kids in Velcro shoes because it's easy for you. When they're 10 years old, they don't know how to tie a bow.
What was that Adam Sandler quote that you saw earlier? He said he doesn't beat his children.
He doesn't beat his children. He puts them in a Justin Bieber T-shirt and Crocs and sends them to school so the other kids can do the job for him.
Nice. Hey, that's the way to go right there. Really.
Right?
Don't teach them.
Work smarter, not harder, right?
That's right.
Wow, and look at this, man. We've been at this, and the time's just flying.
It's because we don't get to play with Chris that much no more.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I know. Sucks.
And your voice calls cats, by the way, if you've never been told that.
My voice calls cats.
My cat has made it a point to be part of this show the entire time.
Oh, well, my cat did too, and then he bailed. I guess he went and passed out.
Well, basically what she's saying is you were supposed to be in bed 2 hours ago, stupid, so get out of my chair so I can go to sleep too.
Well, Chris, as we're winding this up, any last shout-outs you want to give out to anybody or anything you want to promote real quick?
Definitely from our network, Paranormal Reality TV, and the producer of that show has his own TV show on there called Ghost Band, and I tell you what, his theories on the paranormal is awesome. So definitely check that out in the Search Existence Unknown, and Ghost Files, and also a big shout out to OSBH and my crew, Jay, Pat, Rick, and Derek, and my wife, my lovely wife.
You better say your lovely wife.
She's probably sitting close enough to hit it.
Yeah, she could hit. She could probably hit me real quick. Yeah, she's not too far away.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Be sure to stick around for the Alchemical Artisans Hour, which will be on at midnight right after us.
And Monday, please join us as we discuss the insanity of last weekend with Geraldine Sutton Stipe on Just Saying.
So, and tune in every night of the week. We got live shows every night of the week. See ya.
Night on.
Be real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarm setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set. Let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set. Let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rider friends are ghost hunting tonight. That's right. Go get 'em, boys.
And welcome everybody to PEMA TV.
Welcome to Friday the 23rd, 2013.
Hope everybody had a safe week. We had an absolute blast, and we can't say thank you enough to everybody involved with Kelly Little Green Men last week. just an awesome time. Once again, the Battle of the Bands. Check our YouTube. So the show, what did you think when the shows first popped out?
You know, you mean like the paranormal shows, like Ghost Hunters and stuff like that?
Yeah, the ones that are now considered quote unquote para entertainment. More emphasis on the entertainment than the para.
Entertainment.
There's something with taint in there anyway. But I mean, yeah, before those, when those guys came out, did it give you some validation? Did it make you feel like what you were doing had some merit? Because look at what these guys are doing.
When Ghost Hunters came out, I was like, damn it, they beat me to the punch, bastards. No,
right.
I just thought, well, this is awesome. It's starting to be a little bit more accepted in the world. It's not as, hidden on in the backyard or whatever, on the back plate, and people are kind of like, well, it's still a little taboo to talk about. I mean, there was conventions all through the 80s and stuff like that, paranormal conventions, but they weren't as big. They were more educational back then, as opposed to what they are now. Now I think it's just more entertainment and who's who and what's what, and hang out with this and hang out with that, and let's get drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
There's para drinking?
Yeah, there's a lot of para other things that go on at conventions too. Did you ever have you ever, and I want to ask this because this is where you can kind of separate the good from the bad, the chaff from the wheat, however you want to do it. Have you ever run across a demonic spirit in any of your investigations?
No.
Shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mine. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. This old house has a long history.
YouTube channel, I'm starting to get all the stuff posted, and you can be a judge just like they did up there.
I was a judge up there, not on the bands up.
Yeah, the kids contest. I've also got all that coming. I've got and the adults too.
That's right.
Kids and adults. So everybody that was made up, you got to.
I was the costume judge. Yes.
We've got some of their special events. I have Geraldine's speech that explains what the Kelly Little Green Men is really all about and how it started and the incident that it goes back to.
August 21st, 1955.
It's a great story, but all that's coming up on our YouTube channel.
Kelly, Kentucky.
And just like I said, keep an eye on our YouTube channel. If you can see down below us, there's a YouTube button. Take you right there, subscribe to the channel, and you'll know every time I upload them. But it's coming, and there's some really good music in there. There's some guys in there, Clockwork Mechanics. You need to watch those guys. They're pretty tight. I enjoy their music a lot. But we also need to let everybody know about Metaluna Boutique and Stones.
Yeah, even our guests don't know about that one.
Yep. Kim is now operating her own shop there in Gladewater, Texas. We are also online at MetalunaBoutiqueandStones.com, all one word.
There is clothing, metaphysical, paranormal, books,
Candles.
stones, herbs. There's a lot of
Handmade jewelry.
handcrafted stuff. There's hand-poured candles, handmade dolls, handcrafted jewelry. What am I missing? Handmade soaps,
So
lotions, bath salts.
check it out online. Give us a shout. If the good Lord has blessed you with a little bit of money, order something from us. But tonight,
Yes, because that way I'll be blessed with food.
yep, she has to keep me in Yeti chow. But tonight we are joined by a good friend that we unfortunately have not talked to in probably a little over a year.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a year and a half.
Yeah. So it's been about a year since we talked to him online.
And I'm whining.
I know you are getting kind of nasally over there. But tonight we are talking to Mr. Chriss Maggard. How are you, sir?
Hey, brother, I'm doing good. Hey, Kim.
Hey.
Hey, you know what? I know you have the show on ROKU, and I know you've got the TSP, correct?
Correct.
But a lot of people probably don't know this about you. But what motivated you to get started way back in the day?
Actually, it was when the attacks on my sister happened out in Fountain Valley, California. Yep, I was a young boy, and this at the time we didn't know what it was, but this entity started attacking my sister and playing havoc on the family and the house, and it got pretty brutal. And that kind of sparked my interest to find out why stuff like this happens, and it's been ongoing ever since.